I'm a fifth-generation Californian and third-generation Orange County family, and I'm really happy to be here tonight to share with you my vision and my passion for fixing schools. Now, you know we live in an upside-down society today, with upside-down mortgages, upside-down educational system, and an upside-down economy. And I know what to do to fix our schools. As an educator for over 30 years, having worked with LA and Orange County gang members, there are no surprises for me. And I cannot sit home and watch on the sidelines when I know what to do to reform education and to bring us back to number one like we were when I attended schools. Now, there's a long list of many items we could do to fix our schools, but there are really only 4 or 5 things that we will be able to focus on in the next term or two. And if we choose some good items, we can have a great effect. And one of my ideas, I believe, is to reduce the school dropout rate. With a rate of 50% dropout in California and 60% in LA County, we have recent information that tells us that those students under 18 years of age are costing the state and taxpayers of the state $1.1 billion in crime-related expenses. Now just think what an economy and a thriving state we could be if these 50% stayed in school rather than dropping out and causing difficulties in our economy. Also as well, if we provided more vocational programs that would help them to get jobs right out of high school. Now, I've talked to one of the counselors in LA City College, and he says they have jobs around in the area for high school graduates. It's just that they're not graduating in enough numbers to fill these jobs. So we need to make sure that we stand in support of reducing the school dropout rate. And secondly, we need to make sure we have safe schools. Now, I've met a friend of mine, Genevieve Peters. You can look up her strategy online. It's called petersprocedures.com. You can see the before and after effect of her program that empowers teachers to reach the undisciplined students and to bring success to those students. And it also brings more discipline to the classrooms, safe learning conditions, provide the optimum learning environment, safe environment where our students could focus on their education. Thirdly, we need to bring mismanaged districts into compliance. Large, oversized districts are too unruly and unmanageable to meet the local needs. Bringing those districts into smaller, local, mid-sized districts would provide the ability for more local control. It would provide the ability for home to school and community collaboration, bringing all stakeholders involved in the educational system to provide the best education in each local community. Also, someone mentioned to me before the idea about textbooks. Well, I have a plan in which I believe that we can assure the transference of the baton, the torch of liberty to each generation. We stand at the crossroads today of saving our republic. The revisionist history books have caused our students to only get, in many cases, only one side of the issue. Now, as a history teacher, I taught both sides of the issue. I stood up in our district and wrote a goal for developing critical thinking skills because I believe that critical thinking skills will assure that students have the ability to arrive at a reasoned conclusion based on research, facts, and details. When I was a delegate to the National Convention, I was one of 25 state delegates to the NEA convention. I stood up and spoke about critical thinking. It's very important. I've been very involved in politics, both nationally, statewide, and locally. The United States Senate awarded me with the National Freedom Award in 2004 for my work in political analysis and talking points that helped the political party on a national level. So I do believe the expertise and knowledge that I have, along with the law degree that I'm working on, I passed the baby bar last year. I believe that will give me the expertise and knowledge to help write legislation that will change and bring a great positive impact to our schools throughout the state. And one of my suggestions will be to have a minimum competency level test for all high school graduates in civics and government. When I taught civics and government, my students knew the difference between socialism, communism, democracy, republic, autocracy, monarchy, theocracy, and all the others, dictatorship, all the other forms of government. And when they did their research and knew all the information from each, they overwhelmingly chose a democratic republic because liberty speaks to every heart of every individual around the world. So I will stand as a leader. I'm on Facebook. See how I've been leading around the state. I have been traveling around the state for over 6 months, speaking in groups wherever they would invite me, because I care about our kids and grandkids. I could sit home. My husband has a good job, but I cannot sit by idly and watch a failed system continue. I want to do what I know is best to help fix our schools. And the first thing I will do is bring our district superintendents together around the state, and we will pull together our ideas and assessments and come up with a plan that they will all be on board together to move forward with a 4-year plan and an 8-year plan. So I'm really hoping that you will support me and my campaign. I do believe I am the most qualified with the most experience and expertise. I just retired from over 30 years of teaching, and I've worked in a national, state, and local level for many years. And I was a leader in my district, high school segment director in our union, on our board there. So I really would have, I said, well, let's think about it a minute. Let's call it flawed and see if we can fix it. This is the first time we've had a floor of standards across the nation that will bring some consistency in raising our student scores up to a consistent type of education. This is valuable for many kids, as we are a mobile society that goes from one city to another and one state to another. And I cannot tell you how many times I've had kids come in from other schools and say, we had that last year, we had that last quarter. So if we have some consistency in our education, it's going to keep our students moving forward and not set them back. It's good for that purpose. We have also seen that scores across the nation have risen. However, slowly, the scores are rising. And the goal is to close the achievement gap. And it's interesting, you'll hear the unions talk about we need to close the achievement gap. I agree with it, but then they want to do away with the mechanism that's in place. So I know it has some flaws and it has some positives and negatives, but in working what we have, I think it has brought positive changes that have not occurred in the past. So I don't want to dump out the baby with the bath. We would start with saying, and see what we could do with that it's important to teach in each teacher's curriculum assignment information that is relevant. There's a choice. I think that would solve a lot of it, if they could opt out or like they do for some. I appreciate all your questions, and please look me up. There's quite a bit more information about me on my website. I have page after page, so if you have time some night you just want to cruise through there,